Okay, this will be for how to find the number of permutations for certain words. All right, so we want to find how many ways there are to arrange the letters in the word angle. All right, so basically, let me see here. Basically, there are 5 letters, so there's 5 spaces to rearrange the word. There's one for each letter. Okay, so in the word angle, none of the letters repeat. All right, each letter in that word is only used once. So in the first space, we have 5 letters to choose from. In the next space, since we use the letter here, we have 4 letters to choose from. And since we use the letter here, in the next space, we have 3, and then 2, and then 1. Okay, multiplying those 5 numbers, that is the equivalent of 5 factorial. Okay, so that's going to be 20 times 6, that's 120. All right, so if none of the letters repeat, you just count how many letters are in the word, and you apply the factorial function, and you'll get your answer. All right, so now let's look at a word where the letters do repeat, the word book. All right, now if you reversed the 2 O's, you would still have the same word, okay? So if you just reverse the 2 O's, you don't want to count that as an additional permutation. So if we just we have 4 letters or 4 spaces. If we just use 4 factorial, we will not get the correct answer. Because like I said, if you just reverse the O's, you'll get an additional permutation, but it's really just the same word. So what you want to do, you start with 4 factorial, but you divide by the number of repeat letters, okay? So since O and O are the repeat letters, we have 2 repeat letters. We're going to divide by 2 factorial, okay? And you can do this on the calculator, or you can do it by hand. 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And of course, 2 factorial is just 2 times 1. So canceling the 2's and the 1's, we have 4 times 3, which is just 12. So that would be the number of permutations for the word book. Now, if you have multiple repeats, like the word Mississippi, all right, you still basically do it the same. You start with the same formula for the numerator. Just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so in the numerator, it's going to be 11 factorial. And then in the denominator, you want to count the number of repeats. All right, so let's start with the letter I, and I'm gonna cross it out as I count. So for the letter I, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's going to be 4 factorial. And then for the letter S, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be 4 factorial. And then for the letter P, we have 1, 2. That's going to be 2 factorial. All right, and that's it. The M doesn't repeat. So instead of doing this by hand, I'm just going to do it on the calculator. Okay, and I get 34,650. All right. I'm going to pull up the calculator and show you that calculation. All right, so in the numerator, we had 11, and I'm going to click the factorial, and then divided by, and I'm going to use parentheses, 4 factorial times 4 factorial times 2 factorial, okay? This n with the exclamation point is the factorial function. Then I close the parentheses and then click equals, okay? And I get 34,650. So I use parentheses around the multiplication in the denominator, all right? So on the calculator, it basically looked like this. 11 factorial divided by, and it was 4 factorial times 4 factorial times 2 factorial. And then I close the parentheses. Okay, this way it does this calculation before the division. And that was my answer.